I'm sorry if I chased Sam away.
I'm sure it's okay. He said he had to get back to work. So what do you want to talk to me about?
It's about what happened today. If that man in the coffin is not the real Martin Fitzgerald, then I must have killed him.
What is it? You look upset.
I am.
Why? Do you know something about what happened to my father? You said you had something important to tell me. Please, Sheridan. If it's about my father, I have a right to know what it is.
Sheridan, you're not a murderess.
You don't know.
Look, there's no record of anything happening that night. No body, no police report, nothing. You're the only one with any memory of that night.
I just wanted to say how glad I am that things turned out this way. That the man who died wasn't really your father.
She said that already.
I know, but I was thinking some more about how relieved you must be. I mean, how horrible you must have felt, thinking that you were responsible for the death of the man who gave life to you.
I wasn't sure I'd ever be able to forgive myself.
And in spite of that, you saved me instead of him. I owe you my life for that.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. And it's a debt that I have every intention of repaying someday, however I can. If there's ever anything that I can do for you.
Actually, there is. I want to know what your family knows about my father.
But Julian already told you.
I don't believe his story about my father embezzling money from the Cranes.
From what Polaris said about Martin, I find it hard to believe myself.
Look, now more than ever, I believe that your brother and father know the real story behind his disappearance.
You may be right.
And over the years, they must have said something around the house.
If there was anything said, I never heard it. I was away so long.
Well, what about before you went away? Did anything ever happen around the time that my father disappeared?
Like what?
I'm not sure exactly. Something you may have considered strange, out of the ordinary. You do remember something, don't you? Tell by your face that you remember something strange happening around the time my father disappeared. And what was it, Sheridan?
I was so young, I don't recall anything very clearly.
Yeah, but something sticks out in your memory, doesn't it?
No, I mean, nothing to do with you and your father. And I told you about the nightmares that I had when I was a little girl.
I know, you still have them sometimes.
Yes. And it was around that same time that I was having the nightmares. That's all.
Then you went off to boarding school in Europe.
Right. So I guess I really can't help you with anything that you need. I'm really sorry, Luis. I wish that I could.
No, it's okay. I appreciate you trying.
Anyway, good luck.
Thanks.
I want to thank you again for believing what my heart told me over the evidence in front of you.
I should have never doubted you.
I just knew that that horrible man could not be Martin. But it's such a relief to finally have proof. Now, you children can have faith in your father again.
Yeah, but what happened tonight raises the old question. What really happened to Papa? Where's he been all these years? Where is he now?
I wish I knew.
Well, you're going to, because I'm going to find out.
But how?
Well, I think that someone we know has the answers. Has had the answers all these years. Julian Crane may think that he got away with something today, but he didn't. From now on, I'm going to be all over him and his family. I'm sure of it. Julian Crane knows more about Papa's disappearance than he's letting on.
You can't be certain of that, Ivo.
How else do you explain Julian's positive ID of a man passing himself off as Martin Fitzgerald? Both here and in New Mexico. Now, he swore it was him, and now we both know that's not true.
Perhaps it was an honest mistake.
Maybe I'd buy that if there were anyone but Julian Crane. But why would they decide to have the body cremated behind our backs? I'll bet you 10 to 1 that he and old Alistair wanted to keep us from discovering that it wasn't Papa. They're up to something.
Maybe you're right. But I can't really say, and neither can you. I mean, we have no proof whatsoever that Julian or Alistair know anything more about Martin, and they've already told us.
Why are you defending them, Mama? Well, you never believed Julian's story that Papa was embezzling from the Cranes. Why are you going to believe it now?
Even so, I just don't want you looking into this any further, please.
But you want to know what happened to Papa as much as I do. Maybe more.
Don't you understand? Going up against Alistair and Julian could be dangerous. They're ruthless men.
Well, that's the first time I remember you ever admitting that the Cranes leave a lot to be desired as human beings.
Julian and Alistair are the kind of men that wouldn't think twice about retaliating against someone who got in their way.
I'm not scared of either of them.
Maybe you should be. If you're right, and they've gone to such lengths to cover up what they know about Martin, you can be sure that they will continue to do so, Luis, even if it means hurting you.
We're talking about my father here. Your husband. Now, I'm not going to be intimidated by any of the Cranes. Right is right.
This is what you don't understand. You may be driven by what's right and what's fair, but Alistair and Julian, they don't care. If they think that you are threatening some secret they're trying to protect, they will do anything to stop you.
But Papa...
It may take longer, but the truth will come out anyway. It always does.
I don't understand how you can be so patient after all these years.
Because I love you, Luis. I've already lost your father. I don't want to lose you, too. Just let it go. Promise me that you won't do anything to provoke Julian or Alistair. Please, just let the truth about your father surface on its own.
Well, let's not talk about this anymore. It's been a long day.
You insist. I saw you talking to Sheridan earlier.
Yeah, she was just saying that she was glad that the man who died wasn't my father. She knew I was still blaming myself for my own father's death.
That was very thoughtful of her. She and Ethan are the most caring of the Cranes, unlike Julian and Alistair.
I don't know about Ethan, but Sheridan's been great through all this. She's a nice person.
Yes, she is a nice person. I'm glad you finally noticed it. My ride should be here. See you later.
She's right. Sheridan's very different from the rest of her family.
Oh, Luis.
You all right?
Yeah, I just wasn't looking where I was going.
At least you weren't driving this time.
It must be getting better.
Must be. Look, I don't know what you're doing tonight or if you're busy, but I was wondering if you might like to have dinner.
With you?
Yeah, with me.
I'd like that. I'd like that very much.
Okay. So it's a date then.
Okay.
All right.